Quam, RP102, whatever you want to call me. In this video, previous from yesterday, so here we're going to see only the combats that you can do with different heroes, how you can combine their ultimates or their skills, or how you can extend just a normal combo that the video is going to start with. We won't go through all the stuff for dodging and stuff like that, because you can check it in the previous video. In this one, we're just gonna go from the combat. So basically, I'm just gonna say what's the key binding for the combat, and after that, we're just gonna see how the combat works. And somewhere on the screen, when I'm doing the things, there's going to be like the text with the key bindings I'm using. If you don't know, you can check them out. Last video. Okay, let's go straight into it. Okay, from the last video, we already saw how you're doing the basic combo. Now we're just going to interrupt with the stop dodging that you can like start your combos most likely, most of the time. I want to show probably a couple of combos you can do in this video because I don't like them. They're pretty cringe. As said in the previous video, like perhaps like Tarka Infinite. I'm not saying some of the things I'm going to show aren't cringe, but I really don't like some of this stuff, so I just didn't want to show it. So basically, let's start with it. This is how the combo is going. You're doing K1B, then you're top dodging, you're doing K1B, then you're doing an uppercut, so you're crunching and R&B, and after that you're doing R&B, A1B. That's basically mostly for the majority of weapons. You're going to do first R&B and then A1B. For the dagger, as you already know in the previous video, when you see in the uppercut, you're going to do 2 A1Bs. And for the spear, you're going to start with them. As for this Souljade that you have for the switching, for range weapon, I'm just going to show that you can interrupt this with this basic combo. So let's just pretend it. So that's basically a combo. Like you can pick any of the other weapons. The bow and the crossbow do the biggest damage, and the Canon also does a big damage because the Canon also does quite a bit of damage because you can do a second hit. And then you can shoot with it. So the Canon basically maybe does more damage than the crossbow and the bow, but regardless, like you can have this Souljade if you do them. Now you can also do this. Let's say you have a musket, pretty easy, or a bow, it doesn't matter. We're gonna do the same combo sort of, but then instead of like just switching, you're going to have to shoot and dodge 2 times backwards. So that's basically a combo. You're dodging 2 times back. When you switch with musket, you can also do this with the bow. This is the easiest weapons you're going to do it, because with the pistol you should try to aim in the head. That's a little bit harder. And with the crossbow and the cannon, like it's harder to aim. Just here's how it looks with the pistol. Like it's better if you have a bow or a musket, but the second after them is pistol. I don't really recommend using crossbow and cannon for this thing. So that's basically the combo. You can do it any other hero or any other weapon. You've already seen in previous video, you've watched it on the basic combos, so I'm not gonna go through them over here. This is just sort of how you start your combos. And on the majority of weapons you start them with 2 times 7B with top dodge. Here, sometimes on the second R&B hit, because with the spear you should start with R&B hit. You may miss it, but either way. Now, before we start with the Vipers and all the other heroes, like combos you can do, we're going to do something with the spear, the rush. So basically, how you're going to do that is when you charge it, you're going to wait for the first like noise, and then you're going to release it. You're going to continue hitting Canon, and he's going to do the spinny thing, or something else you can do with the spear, let's say. So you're doing the little reset, and this is what you can do. It's pretty simple. You can also continue 2 times. It's going to spin 2 times, and you can cancel the crunch then. I personally prefer just hit the first attack and then go straight into it. Okay, so for Viper, there isn't much you can like do different from the other combos you can do over here, but it's basically pretty simple what you can do. Let's say we're going to have some kind of range weapon. You're going to start with the same combo I previously explained. The only difference is when you do 1 hit, you can go for the 1B as well when they're on the ground. You're going to use your F skill, and then you're going to go straight into an uppercut again and repeat the combo. And then you can switch to a bow, let's say, continue the 3 shots. It looks like this. And that's it. I'll do it with range weapon, it looks like this. Now for Tianhai, it's basically sort of the same things you're doing, like based on the combos, like it's the same combo. The only thing like over here you can add for is if you're with the F already. So if you have the F, you're going to start the same combo. The only difference you can do over here is like instead of doing the R&B, you can just hit the F, because sometimes after the R&B they're going to be able to dodge the... The second thing you can do with them is if you have your F and you have Soul Slash and Thunderstorm for the Katana, you can like cut the combo. We are going to do the same thing, but over here instead of dodging you can just do crunch if you want. And I missed that. Usually you're going to, regardless. So you can add that. If you have a spear, you're going to do the same thing, but you need Heartstopper and Razor Swift, or at least Heartstopper. You're going to level up. You don't need to do last hit. So let's say you release too fast, but you still have Heartstopper, so you can go back. You can try to do it again. And instead of continuing the hitting, the spinning of the rush, you can just go again to an uppercut combo. That's basically the combo. You're just doing, you're using your Heartstopper, and then you're going in another uppercut combo. That's probably going to hit a lot of damage. Now if you have Dragon Roll for the Nunchucks, you can do sort of the same thing. Let's reset the damage. Here you're just going to focus your and maybe you're going to be able to do another uppercut combo. But this is how you can use this Souljade with your F skill, if you have it, of course, you're using. With the GS you can do the same thing, but instead of going for another uppercut combo, this goes for the other weapons as well. Let's say you hit him once, you bait him twice. You just do one box stack, and when they're down on the ground, with every weapon you're going to be able to hit them one more time. I just thought the GS looked the best, show that. And again, you can always like switch the weapons. And so like, let's say you're doing with a Katana combo. You can switch that really quick and shoot them. Or another thing you can do is... So let's say you don't want to release melee attacks or he's really low, you have a range weapon. You're just gonna do the same thing. And I missed 2 of the shots, but I'm not an FPS player. You get the point. I won't try to make it better, because I'm just showing you how you can do it. And now, if you want to add the ultimate to any of these, like, I'm going to leave this stuff, because I'm going to use them for the other heroes as well. That I'm going to show you, but basically you're going to do the same thing. Let's say you have URF, or guys, if you don't have URF, it's for the same thing, you're just not going to have the first part. This is the first thing you can do. After you finish, you try to dodge to the side to get them in a tornado or almost to the edge, because you're going to have time to go for them when you reach them at the last second, or you can just hit them in front of you. Let's say you don't have the F skill. And that's it. Like, you're doing an uppercut combo. After he falls on the ground, you're using the ultimate when you look like this, sort of, next to him. You're going to hit him, he's going to be like stunned for a second. You put him in another uppercut combo. Like, you're doing R&B, then you're doing R&B, R&B, and he's going to be on the edge of your road, so you're going to go for another R&B, 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 and you're going to have your F at that point, because you pass the tornado for the build I'm using, showed in the previous video. You're going to hit him with that, and you're going to do another uppercut, R&B, R&B. It's pretty simple. And again, let's say if he's still alive, like, you can shoot him with the range weapon if you like. This works for all the weapons. So here's how it sort of looks with the dagger, because I believe I didn't show you the beginning of the video for this. You're going into uppercut on the R&B, you're hitting him with left, you dodge back, hit him once, then you do. Now sometimes you won't be able to hit him once, so you should just go for an uppercut instead, one R&B or A&B. I usually go for R&B, because you have that like slight second that he can dodge over there, and basically the combo is here cancelling this and you're going straight into an uppercut. If you don't want to hit the R&B, which is more safe, because if you hit them like this, you dodge back, you do uppercut and be R&B. And that's basically the combo you can extend for the other heroes, so I'm going to show it probably on the other heroes that I can use, but I just want to add it over here, because I forgot at the beginning to show you that you can like cancel from R&B and then you go for uppercut combo. You can start your fight with. For Matari, I don't really have anything to say. Like, cheat per F is like the one I'm using is this one. So you're going to go there. You can, let's say, go back after them and like perhaps like I'm just showing something you can do if you're using F3 on Matari. Like you go somewhere, but let's say they're all still over there, they're hitting, you go back, just go for an uppercut combo. Or let's say you're with Longsword here, you're just going to shoot. You're going to do this combo. So I don't think I need to show anything from Matari. It's like more likely for running hero. Per F isn't something you can use in the combos for real. Now for Tarka, just for reference, if you have your ult, you can do your infinite, like you can put him in there and then you're going to put your ultimate and he's going to fire up. And here you can start your infinite combo, but I'm not gonna show that. Just for reference, you need Katana to do infinite. You can do it with other weapons, but with Katana, when you do an uppercut, they stay on the same spot. With others, they may move slightly to the left, right, front, etc. So basically, you're going to do the same thing. Previous combos. The only difference over here is after you do the uppercut and LMB, you hit the F, and after you hit the F, you're going to go for a focus attack. That's basically how it looks. And maybe you're going to be able to hit him. Just one charge on your attack. Remember this, that on the Katana it's pretty easy, but let's say you're with Longsword, remember that if they're on the grab, this is going to miss. Depending on your weapon, you should go for vertical or horizontal attack, but you need to go for vertical. Regardless. Because even if you're using Spear, this may also miss, or at least the first hit may miss. Just have that in mind. I'm just showing with the Katana because it exists. With Dagger, we're going to do the cancelling. Here it has. You should be able to hit them. Again, if you don't, you can just go for the uppercut. It looks like it. And maybe you can jump and R&B, because they're probably going to be on the ground. This is sort of your base combo you can do. So if you have your F, you basically can like quit him and then go to your uppercut combo. This is the only difference over here you can get. And again, if you have this two Souljade, the Soul Slash or the Thunderstorm, or regardless if you have only one of them, it doesn't really matter. You can sort of do the same thing with the Fireball, but you're just going to have 3 focus attack you can use. So you're just going to have basically you're going to be able to use this Souljade with them. For a Spear, not so much because they're going to be on the ground, and if they get up, you're probably going to get buried, so don't really try to do that. And for the infinite, as I said, I'm not going to be showing it, so that's basically it. You can sort of start doing with Tarka G, with Fireball. For Kurumi, again, I don't think there's like much you can do with her, like start a combo. Let's say if you have this, like somehow you manage to put it through this worst player. You're just gonna go over them, you're going to knock them out, you're going to hit them once, then they're going to get up, you're going to start an uppercut combo, etc. So it's like a knockout, you can do it here, that's cool. Nothing more specific than this. The ultimate won't help you like do for combos and stuff like that, and the F, this is the only thing you can do with the F, sort of, and also maybe cancel their focus stack if they use it, so. But you won't see a lot of promising soul, but it can still help you for combos even doing centurions. For the monk, it sort of goes the same way. The thing you can do with the monk is you're usually going to use this bell, the first one, because this one, like, it won't really do much because they're under attack. Let's say if you're using one of them, let's say the third one, because the second one is going to, maybe if someone hits you with the focus stack, they're going to drop the weapon, but if you're using this one, you're going to knock them out. When you knock them out, you have time to do one focus stack, or the same thing with here it's how it looks. You can also try to, if you are using this bow, to play with monk instead of the thing that actually can help you instead of you, using the F3. Let's say you put them into an uppercut combo, you're going to hit them, and you're going to be able to do one focus stack regardless from the weapon. And again, if you're with Katana, you're going to have time to reset, and you have the Temulch Storm this as well. Because if you have Soul Swash and you hit them already once, you're always going to be able to hit with the Thunderstorm, just for preference. Now for Yoto, something you can do with her is one of them is a little bit harder and advanced, it's with F3, but I'm not going to be showing you it. We're going to use this F1 that you can like put it everywhere, like we're going to throw it. It's the same thing you're sort of doing with the other heroes. The only difference here is you're hitting F twice, because she's going to hit the target, then you're going to have to hit F again. So it sort of looks like this. You won't do the uppercut, but you're probably going to be able to at least hit him when he's on the ground, if you do it quick enough. And again, you can always switch after you hit somebody from a range weapon, hit them just by dodging, tap dodging backwards. This is sort of how it works. Same thing goes for all the other weapons. I don't think it's necessary for me to show you how it works, because the combat is the same thing. I already showed you the easy uppercut combo from all the other ones you can do, regardless from the weapon you're using. But here's the thing, let's say if you sort of like missed something, or you start with the F. Let's say you're starting with, we're going to go with Katana again. You're hitting them with the F, you didn't manage to get them into an uppercut. Here's what you can do if you have your ultimate. By the way, it doesn't matter which ultimate you're going to use, I suggest you use the top, as I said in the previous video. It sort of looks like, so you're going to hit them with the F, you're going to use the R&B, then you're going to ult, hit directly, R&B again, R&B again, and you release it. And they're probably dead, most likely. The thing with the new ultimate is, when you use this, you have plenty of time to wait before the first hit. So you can aim it, and after you aim once, you spam the R&Bs. Sorry about the sound, but it was a little bit too high for Yoto suit. I'm going to lower it a bit. But yeah, it's basically the same thing you can do with our heroes. The only difference, you're using Yoto F to extend your combos no matter which weapon you're using. Okay. With the spear, you may need to dodge a little bit. I was just like testing here when I was doing it. But yeah, this sort of you can do it Yoto. She's really good, you can do it in trios. And here's the thing, like, let's say, let's use the GS because it hit quite a bit of damage. You hit him once, somehow you went for an uppercut, you dodge first, you put him over here. And if he's somehow still alive, you're going to hit him once, right? And you're just going to dodge out of it, and you have 50% of your ultimate, because you hit only once. And the guy's going to be dead, you're going to take the soul over here, and that's basically it. Now if you're using the katana, sometimes you may have enough time to use focus attack when you finish the uppercut combo. Sometimes the people are going to get confused when they're in the circle, and they're going to try to dodge and go out, and by the time they may get distracted, and you can hit one focus attack. If you have the Heartstoper, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to hit a little bit with the spin, you're going to cancel it with an uppercut, you're going to extend the uppercut. This is something you can interrupt with the spear. As I say, it really depends on the weapons, because with Dagger you can do this one, right, where you go backwards and then into an uppercut. But that's basically it for Yoto. The same thing applies as for Temulch for Valda as well. If you have all of this ready, you're going to start the uppercut combo that we already know. You're hitting there. You have time to hit with the katana. If you have thunderstorm and soul slash, you can do the same thing with Heartstoper, regardless if you have the razor swift. And again, as I said, like, you can cancel that spinning move for uppercut, or you can just hit them and go straight into uppercut. Rush of the spear, go for another uppercut. It looks like this. And you're going straight into an uppercut. And two RMBs after that. You're going to have time for it. This sort of how it looks. You just need to be careful not to miss this. Because if you miss the hearing, you're going to do this after you release it too late or too early. Or you're going to do this with the RMB. Or if you don't release it, it's the same thing, you're just gonna hit them. And if you miss them, you're just gonna use focus attack, doesn't matter what weapon you're using. And you have like one free focus attack when you use this bubble. And again, when you hit them and they're in a bubble, you can just go backwards and shoot them with the musket, bow, whatever you have. I just say it's better to have musket or bow to do that, because the pistol is probably going to hit less damage, right? Because the pistol needs to hit headshot, and let's say with the bow and this you hit headshot, but regardless with this, if you hit over here, you're hitting like 140 more damage than the pistol. Here's how much the pistol hits with one normal fall when you hit them. Like, if you, the more you hit them down, it's random. Now you won't have time to charge fully, so that's why you're just gonna do one hit. And the hit, it's like RNG if you're going to be able to hit more damage. But regardless, if you have pistol, musket, or bow, you can do combat like that. Now let's say they're very low and you're sort of pissed, or you're in the top 2 and you just want to win, regardless if you're using combos or not. You can just ult them. So basically you're going to do the same thing. And you can just hit them. You can put them in the uppercut. It doesn't really matter. You're just going to ult them after that and hit them, and they're probably going to be dead. This, if you have probably purple, they're probably going to be dead. If you have blue and they have like golden armor and stuff, like in full melee defense, etc., they may still be alive. But this is the basic combo you can do with Valda. The next combo you can do with Valda is if you use V3, which is Bubbles Whiskey. This one. So basically, the idea here is going to be you're going to use the bubble when you look to the side. The target is going to fall in the right one. You're going to do an uppercut. You're going to put him in that second one. Then you're going to do an uppercut. You're going to put him in the third one. And then you're just going to do the normal R&B and B. This goes for Longsword. If you're using Katana, I personally... If you're using the Katana, I personally don't try to put them in there. It's like harder to aim it to put them right where you want. So with the Katana, I'm just like dodging to the side, putting him in the other bubble, putting him in the one bubble. You're just A1B or R&B, usually A1B. You're putting them in one of the bubbles and you have like free one more hit, and when they're in the third one, you just start the uppercut combo. The combo looks like this. I made a mistake there. You're going to have to excuse me. You're not supposed to do R&B. You can do M&B and then an uppercut, or just go for an uppercut. I just got confused because before the combos were better to start with R&B because you had more stun, but now you have time to dodge. So that's why like you're doing the R&B because it hits better. So you're going to have to excuse me for that. With the longsword, it looks like this. And the idea is you're going to be able to put him in the other bubble. I haven't done this in a lot of months, so I'm sorry about that. But this is like the first one I can do right now. With Yueshan, the things you can do is if you have Dagger and you're using F1, for souls I'm speaking of, even sometimes in the others, like if you have a Dagger you can use that, but most likely you probably won't be with Dagger, but let's go for it. So basically what you're going to do is, again, you're going to use your F after you finish the uppercut, and you're going to have enough time to do an uppercut. And why with the Dagger? Because the Dagger has quite a big range, that's why. So this is how it looks. With the other weapons it's really hard to do it, so you can do this with the Dagger. If you're using the F2, which you should be using because it can stun in, it gives you the uppercut for sure. A second one, like Valda, Viper, Wuchen. If you're using F1s, you can also do it over there. But you're doing the same combo. You're putting them in uppercut, 1, 2, 3. You're hitting them. You're going for uppercut, R&B, R&B. Or sometimes you're going to have enough time to do it with the R&B focus. sometimes, but I personally would not risk it because it's too risky. The same thing goes for the other weapons. I don't need to show it, I just want to show it with the dagger that you have time to do the dodging part, you canceling the R&B, so you can go in and pull an uppercut. And for the other weapons it's the same thing. Mind is that you can only do uppercut with this, like it's not like Temulch and Valda's Fs that you can actually hit the focus attack with it or start the Source Rush, Dragon Roar, etc. etc. For Wuchen, it's basically if you have V2, which is switching your positions. You can like continue doing a combo, an uppercut combo, etc. or cancel somebody's ultimate. If you have F1 for Wuchen, it looks like this. And you're just spamming your Fs. It should be enough to stun them most of the time, and you can extend your uppercut combo, or if you won't be able to extend your uppercut combo, at least you're going to be able to spam one normal attack after you hit them. This is something you can interrupt with all the weapons. You're just picking one, and if you're using the ultimate, let's say you're not with the F or you're using F3, you're doing the same thing. I forgot to put my ultimate. Excuse me about that. So. R&B 2 times. If you don't want to risk it, you can just hit one R&B and go straight into an uppercut. But this is something you can use his ultimate for. In Souls, you should be using this ultimate. In Trios, as I said in the previous video, you're using the first one. If you're using Justina, her FC is basically a defense skill, but here is what it looks like. You want to use your ultimate. If you're using the first ultimate or the second one, it works. For the third one, only for Trios. It's really slow for Souls, so I don't suggest you use it. But basically you're going to put them in an uppercut combo. You're going to ult, and you're going to have time to do one focus attack. If you, let's say, put them in uppercut combo and just put them, I'm going to go for uppercut. With every weapon you have, you can basically do one focus attack regardless of the weapon. You just need to put them in an uppercut, and when they're in the uppercut, you're going to ult. Yeah, you're going to start your ult. Already hit mine, and you're going to be able to stun them, looking straight down, so you don't move too much. And you're going to have time to do a focus attack, or you can just do another uppercut combo. It's up to you. I'm giving you that choice. But you just need to put them in uppercut combo, so. And you're going to hit them with a Heartstoper. This works for Spear. You can add this with the Katana, because you don't really have time to do Soul Slash, because they're not going to be caught for so much. But regardless, you can still do it. And if you have Dagger, you're doing the same thing as the previous heroes I've shown you. If you don't want to risk doing the hits, you can do it when you just start your ultimate. So you're going for uppercut, ulting, going backwards. I messed that up, but you get the point. Like, if you don't want to risk doing A1B, A1B, R1B, and then ulting, try to stun them, freeze them actually, excuse me for that. You can basically go straight for the ult them. You're going to hit them when they're going to jump back, and you're going to do the uppercut. But if you risk it, you're going to hit quite a bit more damage, so it's up to you. You decide that. But that's so you can do sort of with her ultimates, depending on. If you have Dragon Roar, you can still do it, the focus Dragon Roar. It's the same thing, you're just going ult. Mind is that you have like really short time to be able to manage to focus it, so you need to be quick, because right on the edge, when they're not froze, they can like jump and try to parry you and you're going to get parried. Just have this in mind, but you can do this with Justina. And that's like everything you can do, basically. For the new hero, the combo is pretty simple. It works for all the heroes. You just put them in an uppercut combo, you do your hits, you wait for them to be on the ground, you tap dodge, A1B, R1B. You just extend your uppercut again with your F skill. Mind is that they need to be on the ground. If they're not on the ground and you hit them too early, you see, you're going to miss. So you need to wait for them to be on the ground. Hit them. It won't miss, and it has quite a big range, as you saw, that you can hit it. Now, from what I tested, what I know, you can only do this so far with Katana. If you're using the first ultimate, which you should be using if you're playing Souls, and you want to do this combo in trios, you probably won't be able to do it, but in duos you could, but I suggest using second ultimate duos and in trios, because it's going to be more helpful for you and your teammates. And in duos it's going to be really helpful if you have Yoto and you both ult. You're probably going to kill one of them, for sure. Like, he won't escape. Most likely if he's going to escape, it's going to be Justina, because of the defense, or maybe Monk. So you're going to put them in the uppercut combo, and when they're up, you're ulting, you're F'ing, and you can like hit them with whatever you decide. And if you don't want to hit them, you're just going to go into this combo. And you're going to have enough time to do a focus stack. If you time it right, you could try to do the Soul Slash with the Katana or the Heartstoper, but you need to be fast, because you need to just switch your weapons, basically, if you're going to do that. You're starting the ultimate with Katana, because that's how it works for the V. And then you're just gonna switch to another weapon, use the focus on them. It's a matter of choice. I forgot to press one time the V. When I use the ult, you're ulting, you're pressing F, and then you go for a focus stack. But they're going to be on the ground, so you're going to be able to just do a normal focus stack. You won't have enough time with the now we're going to show last for the parries for each weapon, or you can like start your combo or do something with it. Like, I'm just going to show the key mechanic you should use after you pair somebody with all the weapons, and as for the heroes, like, it really doesn't matter about the F skills. Like, again, if you're using Viper, you're going to F. If you're using Tianhai, and you're using the F3, you can again use it. If you're using Temulch and you already have your F, you can again use it. And the noise from that was annoying me. If you're using Valda, you can use the F1 again. If you're using Yoto, you can use the F again after you parry somebody. Same goes for Takeda. Same goes for Wuchen if you already have your F. Like, for all these heroes that you have already seen, the same basic goes. I'm just showing what you should do after you parry somebody. Should you go for RMB, RMB, jump, and stuff like that. So let's just start with it. So with the longsword, it's like you're hitting RMB and then AOMB, or if you have the time, you can try to do an uppercut. It's a matter of choice, but I would go for the uppercut. You have plenty of time. With the katana, after you parry, you hit him with the LMB, and then you do jump and LMB to continue the hits. And you cannot RMB as well, if you like. With the spear, you're just going into the rush. So basically, from there, you're doing the same combos as before. You just need to do the rush, nothing more than that. With the nunchucks, you need to dodge forward, and then you're going for RMB, tap dodge, RMB, and then probably you can go for an uppercut combo. It really doesn't matter. With Dagger, you just go for 2 quick RMBs. Or you can go for an uppercut. Again, like with the longsword. With the GS, you're going for jump LMB and RMB. Or you're just going for jump RMB. It's up to you. But this is basically what you do after the parries. And again, after you parry and you do the hits, or you can just use your F skill. It's up to you. I'm not going to be showing this from the rest of the heroes. It's going to take way more time than it's needed. That's it for the video. I hope you learned the majority of the combos, and there's a combo you can do with grappling, like you're putting them in there. As I said, it's like the infinite with Tarka. I don't really like it. For Takeda, this is also toxic in my opinion, but as you see, you hit shit ton of damage. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, it's way too much in my opinion, but it's sort of like that. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about Naraka and you see that the things aren't that hard. Like, the hardest thing I would say is probably F3 for Valda, and for the Temulch sometimes it can be hard because most of the time you're probably going to already use your F, you're not going to like have your F and be fighting, but regardless it's sort of like that. So thanks for watching, and I don't know what to say. See ya in the next one. Bye.